pile of Necrons. I want to do a diorama. Skelly boys in it. Let's go. Hey, buddy. Yeah, they are creepy. So I got some Necron warriors. It's a pretty neat set. Sorry for the glare on there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's 10 Necron warriors, which makes sense. But I'm used to Death Guard, where you get things in 7s. So this is a weird treat. And it also comes with like 3 scarab piles of stuff. So that's cool. For the ASMR crinkliness. But hopefully these guys are pretty simple to put together. I do have some other mumbo jumbo that I picked up. Let me get this mic out of the shot. Whoop. What other crap did I get? Let's see what's over here. To show you on the other camera, a big old thing of foam. And I got some hot foam cutters. You just put, I think, 2 9-volt batteries in there. I think. And it heats up, and you just cut right through foam. So if I'm feeling zealous, and feeling like breathing in a ton of hot fumes, I could do that too. I also picked up some paint. I got some X-ray flame and some Sycorax bronze, because they have X's in them, and X's are for Necrons, I think. I don't know. We're going to find out. But, I don't know. This guy's got a decent start. Yeah, foam for the diorama thing. You got it. I can build some, like, landscape with it. Do some fun stuff. Anyway, we got a little bit of a start on this guy. Last night, look at how janky his underside is. All of this was attached to the sprue. I might work on this guy a little bit more tonight because I got some new colors. Anywho, let's build some junk. Alright, so some of these have... Is there more than one kind of weapon? There is. There's long gun and not so long gun. I'm not exactly sure how much that matters. Foam for the foam gods. I thought it wouldn't happen. I had to wait. My wife was out and dropping off kid at lock-in at the library thing, so I had to wait for all that to get settled and make sure that everything was cool. But it is. So now we're going to... Yeah, look at those scarabs. I get 3 things that are piles of scarabs. Very cool stuff. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so it's time to start clipping some junk and making it go. I don't know how Necron warriors split their weapons, so maybe I should look that up first. I'm going to go to Wahapedia. Necrons. Skip the ad. I don't care too much about it, but getting it wrong would be kind of silly. Oh, any number of them. Any number of them could have a Gauss Reaper. Okay, so I can't really get it wrong in a Death Guard way. So that's kind of cool. You're just waiting for his base to dry and to get your shipment of 48 Nurglings to add. That's what I read. Sweet. I love those pictures. They're absolutely awesome. And Maury, thanks for doing the edit. I got a really big hoot out of that. Let's scooch that glue over there. I keep saying this, but I got to take care of this mess that is my workspace at some point. All right, we are looking for... I have this sinking feeling that like all these guys are kind of the same, and that may make it harder for me. But I'm guessing it's just like the chest piece and the guy are right next to each other. Let's just look at the instructions. It's like... No, I gotta get the arms right, I guess. Generally speaking, it's... Chest piece goes on last. Yeah, that's what I thought the picture said. 48 Nurglings. 78 Nurglings. All right. 2 plus 3A or 3B. Where are the low numbers? Low number. Did you guys spread all the numbers out? All right, so 3A is next to 8B. That's inconvenient. Well, I think I want most of these guys to be long range. What's the weapon difference? It's either 1 attack at 24 inches, 4 strength, 0 AP, 12 inches. Whatever, cosplayers are probably good. All right, so 3A it is. Ooh, there's an interesting twist. These guys are so mechanical and so not biological, it can actually be a little bit of a challenge to see where the sprue ends and the model begins. Oh, Dane. It's an honor to see how much you are embracing Nurgle. Absolute honor. Let's see, where's 2? There's 2. Yeah, all these bits look the same. All of them. Every last one of them. Which is kind of cool. They'll be fun skeletons. 1A, 1B. Let's see. Okay, so this is like super slick. All I gotta do, in theory, is get this thing to fit in there. It's even notched, so I can't spin it the wrong way. And then his arms are gonna just naturally snap on the body. All right, that's interesting. Let's find that body. Where is number 1? Where is the first victim? There's 11. Spin that around, make it easier. There's 1. You've got room in your heart for Nurgle and Space Marines. I mean, I'm already branching out. Spooky territory. Oh, I did also. There's a limited stock, but I got one of these guys because he's a little bit spooky. Didn't have the exact one that I wanted, but I did keep myself from buying the combat patrol, so I feel good about my restraint. My lights are on. It was good. Technically, everybody's a Space Marine in this list. It's true. It is true. You're very inclusive. I appreciate that. All right, so these then just boop, go on like that. Is that as easy as you're gonna be? That's really cool. I might plow through every last one of these guys. Let's see if my glue's flowing. Oh my god, how many would it take? Can you actually, are you allowed to right now in the current rules go full Nurglings? That would be sick. Make Papa Nurgle so happy. A little drop in there. Oh, I think I might understand why people, no, I'm making that up. I was going to say, I think I might understand why people play Necrons. They're easy. And it's like, I did look at all the other flipping models, and I remember that one Dane that you were showing. Necron Warriors are easy. That is probably a true statement. Alright, so this will just go drop, drop. So in theory, if I plow through these guys, if I get up in the morning, I can prime them, just blacken them all up. Oh yeah, Stretch McGee. Oop. Yeah, we'll see about that in 15 minutes. All right, that worked. That worked. Still rocking. I may actually get to do some weird time streams this coming week. I may stream in the morning here this coming week. That may be a convenient time for me. Should be a heck of a lot of fun. Pick up all my Ukrainians. They have an HQ. Yeah, so yeah, you just need like a warlord to round it out, right? Rules wise. That would be tough to play. Be so much going on. All right, so don't put them upside down. That's good. Dry fit this dude first, or am I just partying? His arms are wobbly. And his head just goes on there? Oh, you're kidding me. That's rad. That is rad. Alright, so this should... Ooh, and there's head variants. I'm gonna end up with a bunch of extra Necron heads, I think. This is gonna be one of those weird things where you try to get the white dude to tell you what country an Asian person's from, and everyone just laughs at you. My point here being, many of these heads look very similar. And I'm not going to take it personally on myself if I can't tell them apart. Like 4 or 4A, you call that a choice? There's 4A. Okay, he's got a long jaw. Where is 4? 24. I don't know. Well, the neat thing is, if I can't find 4, I just clip out 4A. It's pretty wild. All right. Off with your head. Off with your head. Throw back to the good old days. Put good money in the fact that I'll accidentally glue one of these on upside down. I might. You can sort of cant them a little bit and give them that sideways lean, which is cool. There we go. Putting together Necrons. Does your head fit in there? Does your head fit in there? No, it looks a little silly that way. Alright. There's that guy. And then all I gotta do is scooch him in here. This with a little glue. I mean, I could definitely see myself playing Necrons. I'm down to like go with something shooty for once. And I love how they look. Alright, I mean, he's soft. He's soft. But he is together, that's 1. Count is at 1. Scooch all this garbage back on my desk. Give him a place to sit. I'm not going to goop the base before gluing the model on these guys. And that is a absolutely valid concern, but because I don't know what I'm doing in the diorama yet, unclear. But in the future, if I was just doing these alone for tabletop, it would be a good idea to goop the base. Also, my childish excitement is taking over, and I'm just going to rock this out. 8A. Everything about these models just looks cool. They're frail looking, but the models build pretty nicely. They show a sort of maturity in terms of how they're put together. They make sense. I guess that's what I mean. Like they are designed in a very sensible way. Oh, 8A and 8B. 8A and 8B. I already got the gun. Now I'm just looking for an arm. This must be torture for you guys, seeing me stare blankly at this sprue of stuff, not seeing what I'm looking for. Did I get that number right? No, I already have the gun. What I need is a 7. There we go, 7. All right. Just flipping it. Boink. All the nerdlings. All the nerdlings. Alright, so that post gets in there just fine. Good dry fit. I do like how the arms work in terms of how these models come together. The Death Guard ones where it's like put the 2 arms on the weapon out in front. I'm not gonna lie to you, kind of a pain. Sometimes. Kind of a pain. Alright, so this will scooch that way. This guy's got his gun down too. Alright, no surprises in the instructions. Cool beans. But yeah, I think I am going to try to stream in the morning East Coast time. There you go, you can sit down for a second. Doink. Pick up a bunch of people in Europe if possible. Pick up some people in Ukraine, which my subscriber base is numerous. I have no idea if any of them actually watch my streams after the fact. I should check that. I should check with those folks to watch. I would love to just see what that looks like on a table. That many nerdlings. All ready for duty. What a slow game that would be. Maybe. I mean, if your opponent was really geared up for it, it would go pretty fast. They just all had, like, heavy number of attack guns. Yep. That's a skull that went on the floor. You are destined to be found by a cat, not by a human. I have a sinking feeling I am cutting another head up. Yep, that's the way that goes. Easy come, easy go. Do these numbers repeat? They don't. Oh, there's 9. Let's see if I can do this without shooting it across the room. There we go. Always a hazard. Always a hazard. Glue. Good. Sounds good, man. We'll see you soon, and getting these guys done is just step 1 into spooky diorama time. Thanks a bunch. Yeah, that's pressed in nicely. All right. I'm already eyeballing how much fun it is going to be to paint these guys. They're cool looking. They're so spindly, though. I hope that doesn't form its own challenge. There's 2 down. Like dry brushing them out. So spindly. Built like I was in high school. I think I was 145 pounds when I hit 6'2". Wiry, wiry dude. 12 and 13A. 13B. Where is 13? 18. I need a long gun. 23. 4. Oh, we are crossing the sprues a bit now. You know, for all of my Death Guard ramblings, I finally started reading The Buried Dagger. I finished the first Heretic. Very good book. Went places I didn't think it was going to go. My theory about the Emperor and his parenting skills remains intact. And he didn't tell anybody about his plans. And I feel like if he had told anybody about his plans, they wouldn't have jumped ship. Like, Magnus literally had to do his screwed up thing to find out his part in the Emperor's plan. They felt bad about it. I felt bad for him. You got done dirty. I'm looking for 12. 12. 27. 22. Should be an arm around here somewhere labeled 12. 17. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. No kidding. No kidding. If only Big E was a, and I don't even want to say good dad. Like, even if he was a dad at all. Like, I'm sorry, but he's basically poster child, worst parent ever. He would have. There's a high chance that everyone who was a Primarch might have turned out better for the universe if the Emperor had never shown up to find them. In fact, one might argue that the Emperor, if he had just called it a day, might have just he might have done better without him. He already had the Space Marine program going. Could have just promoted from within, just called it a loss. And he had to know that the forces of chaos were PO'd at him because he made promises and he didn't keep them. And then he used dark sorcery to make the Primarchs. But no spoilers in... no spoilers. By that I mean I'm going to say some spoilers. In the first Heretic, it's actually Space Marines that assist, not unlike Horus assisting, the actual chaos event that sends the Primarchs out into the universe. The Word Bearers themselves cut the cables on the Gellerfield generators, the generators that go to the Gellerfields, which is, I think, absolutely awesome. You talk about a big sort of loop, time loop. Like, Chaos uses exactly them to get that party started. I will check that pick out in just a second when I get this guy's arms attached. Scooch this on there. Oh, I gotta push that in that hole. Oh, glue's being weird. Oh, it's on there. I hope all those guys aren't posed exactly the same. Let me check out this picture. Yoink. Big old show and tell. Oh, look at that guy. Yeah. That guy is creep-alicious. That is the Discord we are talking about, in case anyone out there is morbidly curious. Man, that guy is grimy looking. You did a great job with him. He's covered in gross. You make me proud. You make me proud with that model. I knew we had something in common. I knew it. 15. 15 it is. So what I gotta do is I've got that foam that I pulled out earlier. I'm guessing it's just kind of like craft styrofoam. And I'm gonna make the ground with that at different levels. Yeah, one step closer to embracing grime. In like a couple years, Dane's just gonna be ordering that stuff by the 50-gallon barrel. He's gonna like get up in the morning, make himself some breakfast, dip it in the grime bucket, call it a day. I need more tea. I need more tea. What else do I have open? Doo-doo-doo. You know what? I don't need Photoshop open because that takes up RAM. Oh, that's the other thing. I've got more RAM I got to put in my computer. Whoop, do that this weekend. Yoink. All right, tea it is. Earl Grey tea. All right, now I need a head. A head. 14A it is. Go. Pop that guy that way. These are sweet. Sweet models. Handshake and squeezing that glue. I might need more glucine. I've done a lot of gluing. There we go. Yes, embrace the grime. It's funny with these Necrons though. There's no real way to grime them. I mean, I guess you could if I did them like gold. Yeah, that guy is juicy. Every once in a while, someone describes UI in a game that we're working on as juicy, and I might save that picture to show to one of my coworkers. Be like, no, this, my friend, is juicy. Alrighty. More for the record books. Damn, crushing it, crushing it. So yeah, I'll take some of the foam board I already had. I'll just prime it in black, make the box out of that, and then I'll take the thicker stuff and I'll just carve that up to make like topology and just see how that goes. Put that in there. I think I'm gonna make some tombstones, maybe out of popsicle sticks. That'll be fun. Can roll out some green stuff, jack-o'-lanterns. That would be fun. 17. And then I can actually do a little amount of funky lighting because I already have lighting on demand, which I am really being a bum. Let's see here. Get my phone out. Turn on my lights. I'm not flexing at all this evening. Let's see, basic group, yeah. What about the other one? What about the other one? There we go. Colored lights. So I can kind of use those with the diorama. Not all of them. I don't think I'll use this big tubular one, but this guy's kind of perfect. I can just boop, set it around the back and do my thing. 18A. There's 18A. Spooky Necrons. Alrighty. Check this dry fit. Feels mediocre. Feels pretty good. Alright. In we go. Still don't feel like I'm on vacation yet. It's gonna be a bit. Oh, now you don't want to go in there. Come on, don't make me break this gun. I'll do it. That's because you're putting the wrong side in, buddy. Every single time. It feels totally wrong. It's probably because it is. There we go. That was a good save. Kind of silly that I didn't figure it out, but. Body 26. 26. Playing bingo. I'm excited to do some diorama work. I'm pretty sure it's going to look like a middle schooler did it. No offense to my middle schooler, but the amount of practice I will get doing plants, textures, all sorts of basing stuff, I think is going to be really helpful down the road. There you go. Now you fit in right. Boom. Ah, this one he's not holding it downwards. He's ready to shoot the sky. Chess piece is 29, 29, 25, 20. It is 29. 35, 49, 4. Ooh, that's a rad one. 29. This guy's pretty classy looking. Doesn't have a bunch of stuff hanging off of him. Keeping it classy. And I need a head called 30. 30 it is. Alrighty. Good progress. In there. It's not quite in there. I think it's going to get smushed in there when I put this thing, I put this chess piece on. It should get good duped right in there. I have glue flowing. There we go. In you go. Why don't you want to go in there? There we go. Just needed a smush. I've just started getting a little bit of awesome time reading about typhus. And I love that guy. People say he's a jerk, but I think he's awesome. He totally just like, well, Mortarian's got to get it someday. Be part of the program. He even shows up like Typhus shows up off after his like vision quest to figure out what is up with Chaos. His teeth are yellow. He looks weird. Looks weird and different. All these little signs, but Mortarian's just too big on himself and too angry at the world to care. One, two, one. $27. Oh, nope. 22 and 23. 23, I think. 23A. Yeah, we got it. But like Typhus totally knows he's playing Mortarian like an instrument. And I didn't realize how early it would be that you figure out that Mortarian's been messing around with sorcery like no biggie. 22, 22. There's 22. Like, it is first scene of the book. They're already like, man, Mortarion, you're already headed down the path. You don't need to blame anyone else. Got a demon cooped up on his ship. And of course, he's like, I'm cool. I could just get rid of this thing someday. It's like, no, buddy. That's not happening. Zoop. But yeah, I'm pleased that even in the Buried Dagger, I still really don't like Mortarion. It's one of my least favorite Death Guard. I mean, I like him because he's neat in some ways, but personality-wise, I could not live on a ship with that dude and take his orders 24/7. Like, he is just, oof. Even pompous with his own dudes. Like his equerry, is that a equerry? Equerry is like sort of squire but full knight. He's just like condescending to him. That stinks. He's got a huge ego. Uh, 24. Am I still on 24? I hope I'm still on 24. 24A. Ooh, I found 24 solid. Man, I can't tell the difference between the two of those. 24A? 24. 24A? 24. I'm long overdue for another lore video. And I don't know, but I'm feeling more and more like it's just going to be the Emperor's a bad dad. Run down the line. Every traitor is probably the most like the Emperor in one aspect of his sons. You gotta moisturize, man. You gotta moisturize. All those winds of the warp, they just take all the hydration right out of your skin. If you don't moisturize, you're gonna be very unhappy. 28A, 26. 26 going once. Alright, I'll do the gun first. 28A and B. 48. We are over to the other sprue. I think. 28A. Yeah, I will say this. The sprues don't make any sense. In terms of where they put the stuff. That part's a little annoying, given how similar everything looks. I'm guessing, especially now that I look at these, I don't need to grab gun 28A. I doubt it. Well, the one thing I can't tell is whether or not that little hole with its wedge is angled the same way on each one. So maybe you do need to grab the specific one. But I'm just following orders right now. 27. The arm known as 27. Please step forward. Could have told Magnus as part of the plan. He could have probably gotten Erebus to not freak out completely if he hadn't picked Erebus's favorite city on his favorite planet. They brought into compliance. Actually, burned every city on that entire planet to the ground. utilizing the Ultramarines to do it. Erebus and Gilliman already weren't buddies. Then made him kneel in the burned down city just to make his point. Like, Night Lord's Omnibus. Weirdly wholesome. That's quite possibly the most complex and interesting Chaos Marines yet. Well, I'm definitely down with that. Definitely down with that. 6. You know what? This would actually help me. But if it doesn't help you, I did the most microscopic amount of cable management earlier today. And one of my lights was out. It actually, I don't think it helps you guys at all, but man, I was missing it. 26, 16. Sure? Sure, 26? 46, 36, 31, 16. Did I miss one? 6, 46, 41. Okay, that's weird. One of these numbers is wrong, but I don't think it really matters. I doubt it matters. All you Necrons look the same to me. I don't think that's an insult. Yeah, I know almost nothing, almost zero about the Night Lords. I know a little bit about Necrons. Got that. I know a decent amount about the Death Guard, of course. Absolutely the case. My point though, I don't think Gilliman did anything wrong. Like in that case, I don't mind what he did. Like the Emperor was like, "Go take care of this thing." All right, I'll go do it. Cool, we're good. Um, but sending Gilliman specifically because he's so, like he didn't send someone who could smooth it over. He sent someone that not Erebus, Lorgar. Lorgar. I was screwing that name up. That Lorgar would clearly be pissed about being the one who did it. Didn't send Magnus, his buddy. Didn't send Sanguinius. To like smooth. Good times. Well, that was exciting. Oh, as my entire machine turns itself back on. I think so. Am I coming through? I unplugged the entire operation with my foot because cable management is not my forte. Literally shut this entire room down with one swipe of my foot, like a knucklehead. Good times. So anyway, I do find it funny that I popped the browser back open after my machine turned back on, and it was like, "Oh, yeah, you're still streaming. All right." So it did recover. 16, 16. That was too funny. That was too funny. No, that was definitely me. That was all me. I didn't need anyone's help to botch that up. 21, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, how many have I done so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need chest piece 29. Which I'm guessing is wrong. Also, I already have 29. So we're going to grab 39 and do that one. Yeah, I just shut this whole half of the room off. I need, keep saying it, it's been like 3 or 4 streams now. I need to clean this space up and redo it. But most of my efforts have been towards getting the camera in a better spot, the lighting in a better spot, so that it's just more visible for people. But, yeah, being able to turn an entire stream off with one little scooch of my foot, maybe not the best. Maybe not the best. Just keep on keeping on. It was an absolutely pro streamer move on my part. Shutting the operation down. But yeah, when the browser popped back open, it was just like, yep, you're still streaming. What? Good job, browser-based technology. I mean, I had to like crack OBS open up again. It's a newer version of this, blah, blah. Of course. Got it. All of my different software is now like spooling itself up in the background again. Maybe I should restart my machine every once in a while too. That might help. Just make that machine suffer. There we go. Come on, head. You gotta fit on there. Oh, I'm squishing him. What? Get in there, buddy. There's a huge gap in your head. That's not cool. I'm gonna pull your head off. There we go. So I do have liquid green stuff now. So I don't have to freak out as much as I used to. I still freak out a little bit, but not as much as I used to when there's a gap. I can just sort of paint that in now. It's funny because one of the few traders that like I don't have any problem with, I don't like I don't think the Emperor was that bad to Mortarion. He was like, hey, I'll give you a shot. If you can go up and do it, do it. And if you can't, you ride with me. I'll give you an entire army. Yeah, it is always good to refresh stuff. I'll give you an entire army to go to town with if you can't take care of this revenge mission. But that was also the Emperor just not at all recognizing like how bad an idea that sort of wager was. Like nobody wins. You're just gonna have this bratty kid angry at you all the time. But I think it's the Buried Dagger is written by the same guy who wrote Master of Mankind. I should know this off the top of my head, but I don't. So I'm curious about the writing style of it. All of the authors of the Horus Heresy books have like very, very unique styles to them. And I mean, all of them require a dictionary for me. None as much so as Dan Abnett, but this guy hit some pretty, guy writing this book hit some pretty spicy words too, which I love. I love it. Very interesting language. So I guess you have to do when you write like 50 some odd books explaining guys in armor shooting a lot. Yes, there is more to it than that, but you run out of adjectives if you don't get creative. And then there's that whole concept of it being sort of written in High Gothic. I mean, like Vulcan's cool. I'm guessing he was pretty cool with Vulcan. Sanguinius, obviously everybody knows he's cool. Not too big a challenge there. You get to Gilliman, it's like, well, he had a good upbringing. So it turned out all right. I guess maybe that is my thesis. It's like the Emperor doesn't account at all for the scenario in which someone's upbringing might affect their ability to prosper. Like maybe, just maybe. And I don't know a lot about Angron, and I know that like originally he was like, F no, I'm not joining you. Someone had to like go hang out with him and convince him. But still, like you gotta put some extra time in with Angron. Like you got to. Gotta hang with that dude for a while, make sure he's cool with this whole thing. But no, he doesn't really do that. He's just like, nope. You said you joined. Everything must be fine. Everything must just be fine. Worst dad ever. And he absolutely abandons them. And he abandons them all at once. Yeah. I do know a little bit about, just not a ton, but a bit about Gilliman's like upbringing, and you know, he did grow up in power and into a powerful family. Like basically he got found when his, oh, you don't want to stick in there, you're gonna have a gap, buddy. You are gonna get some liquid green stuff for sure. Oh yeah, it doesn't want to go together at all. Well, you'll get liquid green stuff. That's fine. Everyone gets it eventually. But yeah, he grew up well, in a good family, and obviously that's like a big bonus for sure. But you gotta figure like someone grows up on planet darkness, someone else grows up on planet plague, someone else is like, hey, I'm a gladiatorial slave. Like, I mean, here's the other thing. Perturabo. Like, at least have some respect for like names as omens. He does go into it in Master of Mankind. Um, the Emperor takes this Admech dude, this like Admech inventor guy, in this one scene. It has him look at this body on a table that's um, this body that's racked out, and oh, I already have a chess piece on it, and has to do like investigate the body, and it's like, oh, it's this huge guy. The what is it called? Is it the butcher's nails? Something like that. Whatever that thing that's stuck in the back of Angron's head that just makes him enjoy beating the daylights out of stuff. And both are taking a look at it. They're both scientists, and it's like the guys to the Emperor. He's like, "Why don't you take that out?" He's like, "Oh, I would kill him." It's like, "Oh, well, why don't you get rid of him?" That's it's human nature to be angry, and that's when he explains that whole thing about like the human race not needing AI, being the step beyond it, because our ability to sort of feel our way through problems is a fast forward past AI. Like to be able to skip a monumental amount of steps is a big deal. It's what the Emperor believes is going to make humanity like this dominant race. All right, so I did miss one. That's fine. Sure. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna leave the butcher's nails in him, and I'm gonna just like let him go and let him run a whole legion. Like, who did you think? Like, they didn't all have to have a legion right out the gate. And I do realize he was out with them for a long time before he pieced out. But man, did he ditch those dudes. So here's the other weird thing with Lorgar. And maybe it's just psychically. Yeah, that is, yeah. Basically, if he's not doing smashing stuff up, he's just miserable. The other thing is that it's Malkador that shows up to tell Lorgar the jig is up. That's why we burned down this place. The Emperor's PO'd. Not cool with you. And Lorgar doesn't want to hear it. So it may have only been psychically, but the Emperor himself shows up. Which leads me to believe, oh, that is so wrong. This arm does not go with this gun. Look at those arms. You gotta come out, buddy. You gotta come out. We've hit the limit of messing with arms. All right, I gotta find. I used a different gun. I think I found the place where this gets all screwed up. 43 and 42. So I think that was 43, 47. That arm is all kinds of jacked up. I finally stopped dry fitting. Maybe I just put that thing in backwards. I think I did. Yeah, okay, I did. Woof. All right, the arms are all still consistent. There's peace in the realm. 41. I don't know why that arm fit backwards. It shouldn't have, given the slots, but it did. And then it looked squirrely. The only thing I know about, I don't even remember which one it is. If it's Kurz or Perturabo, but one of them has a brief moment with Lorgar on Istvan 5. Man, is he not cool. It was not nice. He was just talking trash to him. It was just cruel. I think it was Kurz. Like, get up, you're weak. Ooh. Yeah, that guy's got a tweaked head. That's cool. There we go. And I always do keep in mind that, like, the game is, I mean, a lot of the lore was just in rules books, you know, in codices. I do forget that from time to time. Like they had to backfill all of this stuff, and it has the legacy of being, you know, an awesome nerd game with like cool guy named things. And that's, you know, you get a guy named Angron. That's just what you get out of that exchange. 36. Where are we? Where are we? That was 36. Whatever. I'm just going to cut another body out. Yeah. What are their Legion names? Is one of them the guy who like just builds up a bunch of fortified mumbo jumbo? Because I think it was that guy of the two. All right, we are going to wing it with these guns. I don't know if this thing tell me what to do. Actually, it should just only be one arm and one gun left, in theory. It should be out of parts. So this should be very cut and dry. Where's the remaining arm? 47. Basically, whoever it was the guy that just like showed up, had a huge number of servitors just build crazy amounts of fortifications, and then he pieced out. Well, he didn't piece out. He just like landed there and they're out. Kind of annoying. Are you gonna fit? You gonna fit for me, buddy? Why don't you fit? I'm gonna have to cut another arm out of this thing. Oh, there we go. It's a little tight. Iron Warriors. Yeah, that's whoever it was. Yeah, the Iron Warriors. I think it showed up. But yeah, he was not very brotherly. There we go. In you go. Nice. Oh, I do. There's two more of these guys left total, including this one. Spoke too soon, as I often do. You're being a little awkward. There we go. And you fit. They absolutely just like, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, with a name like Angron, like if you're marketing a game to like kids and young adults, like, and people that love Angron, and I mean Mortarian, like, ooh. And the fact that Perturabo is perturbed all the time, you do have to remember that they had to like, they basically chose to go back and write legit lore around what were product names more than anything else. And they did a fantastic job with it. Did absolutely. Oh, look at that. That head's bonus. That one's going in there. Maybe I should have paid more attention to the different heads that these things came with, because that one's dope. I'll show you this guy. Look at that dude. Half his head's blown out. That's awesome. I do wonder. Probably should have told. He didn't tell anyone anything. He just. Oh my god, look at the gap on that thing. Herp. A derp. Might have to hurt this guy to get this gap sealed up. Oh, pray to the gods that I don't smash this thing. It's not like I have a whole army of them anyway, so I do care though. Oh, that's weird. That's a weird fit. Yeah, I'm guessing that's what happens when you put the wrong chest on the wrong body. You finally pay the price for it. Oh well. We'll get some green stuff love. There you go. I can't tell if this is part of his chin? No, that is part of the sprue. It was very squared up on it, so I didn't catch it the first time. There we go. You know, nice little beard trim there. Yoink. Good. Good to go. Oh, that guy's cool. I'm very curious to ponder like what is next for the game in terms of a faction. Um, like Votan was the last one, right? The last new one, I think, in recent times, and I think it was Death Guard before that. It's curious to think about what the next big thing will be. They can sort of, I mean, they've obviously flat out stated that they can, I don't know if they can miracle someone back to life, but like Gilliman was like comatose. Or like, would they just be like, you know what? Trazen had Ferris's head. We decided to put them back together. That might be neat. Alrighty. One for the road. You gotta fit off. There we go. Good job, clumsy man. There we go. Whew, those arms look like they were gonna stick way too close together. But we fixed it. Alright, this is the last of 10. Then I got 2 scarabs put together, which I might as well do. Scarabs are neat. I'm down with scarabs. Yeah. Yeah, so have they never really addressed that? Like, have that never been an actual faction? Like, oh, this is falling apart. This guy's sad. This guy's so sad. All right. I'm going to triage this dude as fast as we can, see if we can get this arm actually in there. Nope, it's not going in. All right, we'll get him back attached to his gun, first and foremost. Oh, this is gnarly. That arm does not want to go in there. Surgery time. I don't think I need this whole nub to do it. So it's coming off. I gotta take his arm. Get that off of there because it's all glue stuck. Oof. Big old string of life hanging off of him. Oh, this guy is in trouble. Trouble. You know what? This calls for a little crazy glue triage. I mean, I could definitely go Dark Mechanicus. Like, I already like Chaos Knights a bunch. I would absolutely play Admech if they weren't good guys. All right, I think I fixed this thing. I think I did, but I gotta hold him just a bit. Get a whole army of those dudes on stilts. I gotta be careful. Last time I unplugged everything, it was when I was crossing my legs. It was a moment just like this. That dude on stilts, paint him all black. Army of those dudes. Yeah, but they could do it as like a legit faction. I mean, there was a time way back in the day where if you were playing Chaos Space Marines, I think you were just always buying the same stuff. Yeah, and they have that awesome Fulgrim model. I was actually a little bit surprised, but that said, like that does seem preemptive. Like, oh, you can use them over here. It's like, okay, that would be really SMRT smart. There we go. Emperor's Children would be pretty rad. And it would be neat for there to be a heretic chaos side that plays. I mean, I guess they would kind of play a little bit like Custodes with like how precise they are and all that, but then they'd still obviously be like crazy twisted. Like you could put an interesting faction together with that. I could see strategically how that might work. This chest piece. Hope the rest of this model doesn't go as squirrely as the first half of it did. Let me look. Yeah, that's another neat head. All right. See if I can do it without shooting it on the flow. There we go. Boink. I have so many bonus Necron heads. I'm going to be careful again with my leg. I got to do so much cable management around this space. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I have so much stuff going around this desk. It's really unfair to the space. All right, so you don't attach at all. That's all right. You got this big yawning gap in there. That's cool. Oh yeah, no, I do. I think that's like the front runner right now. It's a beautiful model. It's an absolutely gorgeous model. Um, I don't know, like how many of the hell? That's why you don't fit on there well. I'll give you another snip too. On the chaos side, like who goes fast and accurate, like, but not like full tilt like the World Eaters. Like I think they got room for a faction that like fights very efficiently. Oosh. Demon Perturabo. I know so nothing about that dude. Why would that be cool? Just because he's angry all the time? Not angry. That's Angron. He's perturbed all the time. Oh, this is not flying. This chest does not want to fit on this body at all. All right. Well, I'm going to force it because I am in charge. No, your head does not get to come apart just because you're sitting over here. Oof. Well, that head is not in there at all. Oof. Yeah. This guy has been a challenge. I think I screwed up somewhere. Definitely screwed up somewhere. All right, well, a couple dabs of glue A little bit of crazy glue and this will all sort itself out. All right, I'm just gonna hold this guy. Hold me. Gently set him down. Flesh metal monster manfingo. Is that a scientific term? I love it. Oh, look at how hard these scarabs are to put together. These things are OP. Famous last words, right? Yoink. I need scarabs. I need a little pile of rocks. I think you folks know what these scarabs actually do. These I'm very much not familiar, except with them being like worker drones for Trazen. H mutation, he killed his adopted sister and completely wrecked Fulcrum. You know, like me. That dude's disturbed. Yeah. Primarchs, am I right? The Emperor just like ignores the fact how obviously a bunch of the Primarchs just like some of them have a very good best friend amongst the other Primarchs. Some of them are just like, yeah, nah, I hate this guy and everything he stands for. So it's a long shot, but one of the sort of like deep down in my heart things that I would love to see happen is one of the two redacted legions, which also get talked a lot about in the first Heretic. One of those came back, and the super long shot would be if they were daughters and not sons. That would be amazing. Absolutely stick it to the man. Ooh, one of these bugs does not have a rock to sit on. Crazy. All right, 50, of course, I already cut them out, so who knows who gets what. 152, they either have two posts. Oh, they all have two posts. That'd be so funny if I already screwed this up. I didn't pay attention. I do have some sanding to do. Sanding. Death lottery on his own legion. Is that the like every 10th man gets yoinked? I think one of them has done that. So that is like if it's the lottery where every 10th man dies and has to be like strangled by one of the guys who's gonna live. It's actually like old school Roman stuff. It's where the word decimation comes from. Someone says, "Oh, they got decimated." It only means that 10% of the folks died. All right, so doing this right. These fit right in these things. They do, and then right down the middle is where the posts go, and then one of the this guy's got the big posts. Now it all makes sense. All right, so I'll give this guy a little dab in here. Doink, doink. Push him in. Dab here. Here. Yeah, and that's old school Roman way of taking care of business. Oh, you gonna fit in nicely? You gonna play nicey bugs? That hurt a lot. Spicy. Those little spikes. Push the thing in right in there. I'm actually a little surprised that didn't draw a little bit of blood. Woo! Spicy moment. That needs a little cleanup on aisle 3. I mean, he sounds fun. Definitely sounds fun. What is his actual, like, thing, though? Like, Magnus is a wizard. Lorgar is very, very religious. Angron is angry. Not siege warfare. Ooh. Okay. I mean, yeah. So he's the guy that it's been said that if like Dorn was on one side and he was on the other, it would be like a battle that would never end. It's like oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself on this thing because they fit this way. Is that it? Did I put the rock in backwards? That would be awesome if I did that. I think I did. I think I put the rock in backwards. Yeah, the opposite of Dorn. Yeah, that is what I definitely read about him at one point. I don't know where that went. Oh. Things are getting gnarly. All right. Hopefully I'm doing this the right way now. Yeah, like the immovable object and the irresistible force. I love how Dorn's ship is just like this big rock out in space. That's pretty rad. Can I do this without injuring my finger this time? Gently. Yeah, we can do it without injuring our finger. Spicy modeling. Just a disturbed Dawn. I'm pretty sure the End of the Death Part 2 is coming out like in a month or two. I think it's November. I was able to pre-order it as an ebook, so it's got to be somewhat soon. That. Another bug. Another bug. So you get to keep a bunch of arms with guns, and I saw something that I thought was a really interesting play by someone, and a bunch of heads. What they did is they basically just took this set, and they're not even proxies. They took the arm with the gun, whatever the other kind of gun is, and the head, and had them sort of like on the ground, and they used a little bit of green stuff and whatever, and they basically said they were like Necron warriors that were reforming, which I thought was inventive. I'm not going to do that. However, I will absolutely use these little bits as props. I will shine these guys up and absolutely plop some in different spots. Bonus skulls are awesome. I think I am done with this glue, so I can safely find the cap and put it on. Oh, this is a fun set. I mean, it didn't take me all that long. I did shut the stream down by unplugging everything at one point. Bugs, bugs, bugs. Call that guy done. Yeah, knocked out 10 Necron warriors. I don't know if they'll all fit in the diorama. I don't know. They might. The guy's got a little glue stuck to his keister. But they certainly look neat. They're going to look absolutely great. I'm going to do them as skeletal as I can. I may do the faces sort of like I'm going to do them metallic, but I may actually do the faces in some like tiny little line work in absolute white, um, as if they work for Saruman. Made a fortress of the chaos symbol. Yeah, those I love that stuff. That's so good. That would be an awesome faction. Um, faction that was really good at just digging in. Because the Death Guard are slow and they've been given stuff in 10th that's like kind of makes them a little okay at holding objectives, but it's not the same. They don't dig in like ticks. And I'd like them to be less like that. And Perturabo's homies came in, you could end up in a spot where the Death Guard could be more Death Guard like. Again, I'm going to scoot some stuff out of the way real quick, and I'm going to do a little bit of work on my boy, Team Money Trazen, because I can. So, where I sort of left things last night, there's definitely some green work he needs. His cloak, while it isn't the same as his ribs, looks precariously close to it. And obviously, there's some stuff that I can do here to sharpen it up a bit, make it look cooler. I may hit it with some sparkly, shiny stuff. It definitely needs a wash at the very least. Some parts are a little thicker than others. I am going to black wash it to start. Because I can. But yeah, that would be super rad to have like a bad guy group that you could table. And maybe even like mess with fortifications a bit. That would be neat. If they could like summon fortifications and put them together. Dude, there's so much stuff broke on this when I put them together. So much. It's terrible. Terrible. He just suffered and suffered. I'm going to use a black wash here, and then that should free things up. I know it's going to sound painful, but I think I'm actually just going to like, without dry brushing, just with line work, just edge out every last one of these little plates. I'm not sure with what yet. His ankle is hurting. Dabs in there. I don't want it to look like the chest. And I may take the chest and hit it with a little bit of layer work. I may actually use Macragge blue. Not a ton of it, just some like tiny little highlights on it. I don't think I ever got in here before. Yeah, I didn't. That's kind of an oversight, but I'll get back to that at some point. Dab that. I feel very scared holding him by his staff right now. I think it's not okay. Not okay in the slightest. Time flies when you watch your friend from the United States ramble on about Warhammer. It certainly does. I would ask, when do you sleep? But I'm not sure I want to know. The question is, do I go Tesseract Glow? Or do I go Hexwraith Flame? I'm going to try Hexwraith Flame because I haven't used it. Out here. I think this is a pretty good reference. I'm going to use Hexwraith Flame. Almost 2 p.m. Yeah. It is almost 11 for me. And I'm going to use Hexray Flame on some of the bits. Maybe I should lean on the desk while I'm shaking stuff. On his eyes, on the staff, the obliterator. Because I mainly want to see how it looks. I haven't done that much contrast on dry brushed metallics. I want to find out. Always had sleeping problems. Yeah, I hear you. I have gone back and forth from absolutely having them to absolutely like no problems whatsoever throughout my whole life. I have been a person that could and has worked like complete shift in a restaurant from like 10 in the morning till 10 at night, then zip out, work at UPS from 11 at night, 4 in the morning, then get up, go back to the restaurant the next day at 10 a.m. Been like fine with that and just take naps in between things. And I've absolutely had like insomnia at certain spots. I think I'm getting more seasonally dependent. That doesn't really look like anything, TBH. Of course, I'm getting black wash all over my hands because I'm treating them like the back's dry. That doesn't really look green. But hey, who knows what this paint will do. It is also contrast paint. I'm using this tiny, tiny little brush. That's one thing I gotta remember about contrast paint. It's like, you don't have to glob it on, but you don't have to be too careful. You don't want to get it places you don't want it to be, but you gotta use a bunch. Yeah. It's, sleeping problems have been like, in some ways, like really good. Like when my two youngest kids were super little, it was like, I could keep up with my wife's terrible sleep schedule because, you know, she's got a little baby that she's got to feed every 2 hours. It's just crazy when you think about it. Like, you never sleep for more than 2 hours straight. But I could hang. And, like, in the time she wasn't feeding the baby, I could keep an eye out on the baby and give her a nap. Let my wife take a nap. So there have definitely been times it's been like a useful skill, and there have been absolutely times, like in school, it was awesome. Yeah, that is absolutely not a piece of that staff. All right, now I'm going to be clipping things that I said I'd be clipping. It's just random parts of this model, gently. There's just model material stuck in random parts, and it really is not that cool. Where are my tweezers? Tweezers, tweezers. There we go. Just random bits. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get... That piece isn't coming out ever. There we go. Paid like $6 million for this old piece of junk. And he's suffering. Get that whole orb. Yoink. Alright, I'm going to hit this whole thing because I can get over those little side bits with metallics and stuff won't show through. This is, like, not great. I'm not liking this very much. I don't want to hit it with an undercoat. Shouldn't drink all that caffeine. So that's one thing I have done. I've been a coffee drinker my whole life. Like, literally my whole life. I started drinking coffee when I was really young. And I don't drink coffee anymore. As of just like literally months ago, I quit it. I moved over to tea. But I had for a long time been one of those people who could literally like drink coffee, drink black coffee, and then just go to bed. Like, yep, I'm done for the day. Out I go. I do not have that ability anymore. I take melatonin before I go to bed every single night now. Make sure I actually go out. I mean, this green is awesome, but I'm not sure it's going to cover this enough to really be green. And now I'm putting like piles of it on there. And I'm not sure that that's safe. I'm not really sure that that's safe. I mean, at the very least, it'll sink into these divots, but I have a sinking feeling that's not going to be that cool. Could get his guts with it, though. Get in there. If I had to guess, I'm going to go back over. Yeah, so I used to do that eons ago. Pretty soon after I moved up to the general Boston area, I would in the summertime at least, I would quite often naturally just wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, and it's exactly what I would do. I would to the point where I started going to bed in the clothes that I would take my walks in. Um, so like mesh shorts, t-shirt, leave my socks on, have my sneakers right next to my bed, my hat right there, and I would just just grab my wallet so I still had an ID on me, and I'd walk like 3 or 4 miles, and then go home and go right out. That actually did work nicely. It's not easy being green, buddy. Yeah, this might be multiple coats of. I mean, I love this Hexwraith flame color, but over the metallic, it's just like too much stuff is showing through. It needs to be too gloppy. I don't know, kind of a weird call. He's leaned so far forward. I have a feeling that his foot doesn't even really sit. What's this? I have a sinking feeling I'm going to have to very carefully take the saw or some really strong sandpaper and just get him flat there. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. The smart thing is going to be to take some green stuff when I base him and just put a pad of green stuff there and smush him in. Because he's going to be standing in sand anyway. But yeah, he's model. It looks cool, but functionally, how it's put together or the materials on it just stink. Absolutely stinks. But is what it is. All right, time to dab the tiniest amount of green in his eyes. But I always hold my breath. Didn't really get it. And my hands are shaking. I think that was okay. I think that was okay. I'm going to take the tiniest little piece of paper towel. Just spin it up. And just soak a little bit of that up. Just touching the fibers to it. I could have actually done that with the brush. The eyes are just brutal. With contrast paint, it's like almost impossible. I need a green that'll stick. I don't think. I think the only green that I have, and this may end up being it. At the end of the day, I've got Wa Flesh. But it's so dark and it's so orcish that, like, I don't know. I mean, I could go back over it with Hexwraith Flame. Everything's gonna get Tesseract Glow. Like that's a requirement. I don't know. I can worry about that in a bit. I have the other color that I picked up, Sycorax Bronze, and that is wild looking. Give this a little bit more of a shake. I think it was Retributor armor that I did all the gold stuff on originally. And then I'm hoping adding this stuff into the mix just gives me a better set of options. Do this, dab a little water in here. My very blue water. Change that water up. If you schmop, you do it. I think that crystal at the end needs to be green as well. But this stuff, touch of it, has a slightly redder hue, almost pinker hue than the Retributor armor is like got a lot of yellow in it. I'm always amazed by people that have like the full stock of like tons of colors to choose from. And like I'm just not good like them. But also like it is a limitation for me as far as like my highlighting goes to like have 3 different pinks and cycle through those 3 because you own 7. And finding those combinations that look really good for highlights and all that stuff. I'm not sure I want to get that crazy, but I do need to buy some more colors. I've, for lack of a better term, sort of painted myself into a corner with all the Death Guard stuff I did, which is why for so many of these projects I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try something different, like the Meat Wagon, like with Mortarion. I want to get experience at a lot of stuff, and I just don't get around too much. You're doing a pile of Plague Marines, pile of Poxwalkers, and it's good. I don't know. I don't regret it because you get nice and familiar with some colors, some schemes, and I like my color scheme a lot. But as a broader painter, I see gaps. I did reach out to the Army painter, see if they'll send me a review copy of a bunch of their paints. I'm hopeful. I'm doubtful, but it'll be really neat. I've used some of their basing stuff, never used any of their paints. I love all the materials that come with their stuff because it's very beginner friendly, and I'm trying to be as beginner friendly as I can. So we'll see. Apparently they review all the requests they get at the top of the month. And maybe, just maybe, they'll send me a review copy because, man, paint is expensive. The models are bad enough as it is, but man, the paint is brutal. Absolutely brutal. I should probably serve the paint gods properly. Oh yeah, I do need to send you my address. And did you PM me yours? I'm literally gonna send you a branded mug, and I'll make a T-shirt for you too. What an amazing, like, I mean, obviously it's you, but like, I mean, use broadly, call you part of the community. What an amazing community of just like being able to find people that are like, yeah, I live not only in different time zone, different country, different continent. Yeah, I can send you this bug-headed plague marine. It's just awesome. I love how tiny the world is. Catch someone in the afternoon on a weekend when it's still Friday here. Very global. I don't know if the camera really does it justice, but like that is clearly different than that. In fact, I'm going to use it down the middle of this thing right here. Boink. So cool. Painting. I really wish I'd had more time to get out to the store earlier today, but me and my wife are like struggling to overlap time to take care of the kids. My wife's got a ton of stuff going on right now, and I don't, which means I'm on kid watch duty to love. But I can't really bounce out of the house with my two little kids. I just don't feel that cool about it. In fact, I'm a little bit scared of it. I don't know how to private message. I have to friend you first. That might make sense. Let me take a look over here real quick. Let's do some administration. Got it. Yeah, I'm just typing this in right here. Boink. Should probably tell you my whole name. Boink. So I just direct messaged you, Dane. And so you should just be able to respond in there. Now you know all my information. You can send the stalkers after me. Alright, so still kind of finding that green to be a little sketchy on here. Not sure that I like it. I can at least get this orb looking shiny. Yeah, that paint's still wet on there, but I don't care because it's late and I get to paint. Take advantage of it. I swear if I could get the prime coat to dry fast enough, I would take those Necrons right outside right now and just hook them up, but that will not work. My enthusiasm cannot overwrite the laws of paint drying. Okay. It's looking shiny. I'm a proper full-blooded American. There's probably tons of landmines in my yard. It's all right. I've actually been doxxed before. Not here, but it has happened. It happens to a lot of people that make games. Doxing was all the rage, so they finally started putting people in jail for it. I wasn't very bothered by it, but at the time I was like a single dude. Didn't really care all that much about it. Oh, shaky hands, you just went over everything. Huzzah! Let's get this cleaned up. Zip. I am deficient in my cleaning materials at this desk right now. Big old towel on them. Alright, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that green sucks. That doesn't look right. It doesn't look right at all. I'm gonna have to figure something out with it. They'll get another coat of stuff. It'll be fine. Set him down gently. You can send all the plague marines you want after me. I'm all for it. I don't know, maybe that just needs a couple coats. I think it needs more than that. His eyes definitely need more than dots of contrast paint on them. It's just not sticking. But that is something I will solve. Yeah, so the thing that I'm most concerned about, oh, and this is actually relatively easy for me to do now, even. Do I even need to focus it? That might be as focused as it gets at that range. The problem is the coverage isn't really nice on it. Look at that. Make you nervous. Smushing it. The coverage is not good. It's like the paint isn't thick enough. And it may just need 2 coats. I mean, it's a contrast paint, so it is thinner. It's dry brushed underneath it. But like it's I'm gonna stop doing it. But it absolutely feels like Mortarian's chains, like those feel stable. This feels stable, it just snapped. I know. This guy's so precarious. I don't know. Maybe Tesseract Glow will soak in. It probably just needs a second coat. I missed the chains by now, yeah. Surprised I haven't broken this guy. There you go. There's your therapeutic moment. Yeah! He's pretty rad. I like this guy a lot. He did turn out good. Look at all that grass around the base. I still gotta add a little bit more color down there and stuff, but he's pretty good. And I just realized it's a lot of slimy stuff and whatever, but yeah, he's pretty cool. And his wings got a lot of shine to him on the edge. They refract nicely. You see him in person, like it's like a crazy what angle they're at. Pretty sweet. Not too shabby. I'm pleased. Well, I think I've kept people up late enough. It's a good start. I'll do some prep work in the morning. I have no idea when probably the next time I stream will be tomorrow night. But I got a lot of prep to, got a lot of stuff to cut up and prime for the diorama. I should probably plan a little bit for the diorama. I maybe need to move my camera setup around to be higher up so I can have space to move stuff around here. Maybe I'll clean so I can stop complaining about it. But I think that is all she wrote for tonight. Thank you very much for hanging out, watching me put together some spooky boys. Thank you for educating me a bit on Perturabo, a bit on Angron, and we'll see you sometime soon. Have a very good night. And sorry I disconnected in the middle there. Do some cable management before the next one and act professional. Take care. Bye-bye.